What is going on, Amazon sellers? Happy Thursday afternoon. Welcome to the live Amazon FBA Seller Ask Me Anything, where we answer your questions, or I answer your questions about anything related to Amazon, Keepa, online arbitrage, wholesale, retail arbitrage, you name it. And then, of course, I try to bring you a tip to help you in your business as well. And I've got a good one today, I believe. Luke, what's going on, man? Glad to see you in here. Hey, Michael, what's up? Hey, Corey, what's going on? Ryan, I am definitely going hard today. We've got, we got 3 lives we're doing today, 2 webinars and 1 live, and even recorded a short form video this morning, which I never do. Hey, Paulie, what is going on? Glad to have you in here, man. Hey, Juan, what is up? I appreciate that. Let's not forget to like, share, and subscribe. That I do definitely appreciate. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions here. Juan, I'm surprised you still have a voice. Yeah, I can go pretty hard for a while. We've got the OA challenge starting on Monday. I'm going to be live here at 5:30 every single day, and then go into about 2 hours a day of lives with the OA challenge folks. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And Matthew, yeah, I do try to have a good work ethic. If one of the things that I actually like about working from home is the fact that my kids get to see my work ethic. Now, I do my very best never to miss anything, and I want to be there to support them, and I take them to school, take them to work, pick them up, and make sure to sit down for dinner with them. But I want them to be able to see that you've got to work hard, and they can literally walk into my office and see, oh man, Dad's putting in 12 hours today, Dad's working the weekends and things like that. And I like it. I do enjoy working, and so it's good stuff. All right. We've got a couple of questions. I'm going to answer these real quick, and then I'm going to get to a little bit of news, a tip for you guys. But one of the other things is please, if you have a question, make sure to drop it in the chat, and I will answer it for you. All right. So, Corey, is there a certain initiation process once you reach a certain scale with your Amazon business? I'm up to 3 cease and desist letters in the past couple of weeks. Maybe it just means I made it on Amazon. So, yes, we really should have some sort of club, but you're definitely there, man. That's a good amount of cease and desist. I too I've gotten 3 this month. 2 of them from the same company, 1 from another company. And I don't know. I've thought about saving them and having a little fire or something, but I end up opening them out of the street because I know exactly what they look like. They've all come for me via mail, and they go right in the trash. Okay, and then Fastla over on Instagram is working with the distributor. Can you still get suspended? The answer to that is yes, you can still get suspended. So here's something, and I've got friends who work with distributors and do brand direct and things like that, and they a lot of them have gotten their Section 3s this year because it's something that Amazon just seems to be doing for everybody. So yes, you can absolutely still get suspended. It is hopeful that it will be pretty easy to get yourself reinstated, having really good receipts and things like that. But you've got to be really careful because, you're saying you're working with a distributor. Well, there is a hierarchy of distributors. And to be quite frank, I'd rather have a Walmart receipt than an invoice from many of these distributors, especially if you're working with a distributor on Telegram or in Discord or something like that. Those are the distributors. Matter of fact, I have had to help more people get reinstated doing wholesale than I ever have from online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. And the ones who are doing wholesale tend to actually be more difficult to deal with because of how many of them, no matter how much I say it or anyone else I know that talks about wholesale says it, Don't use suppliers from Telegram, from Discord. That's where they end up coming from. They end up having invoices from, Bill at gmail.com, and it doesn't work at all. Okay. I want to go through a couple of quick pieces with you guys, and then I'm going to get back to your questions. All right. Let me share my screen here. All right. So, number one, we've got a little bad news. Okay. As of today, the Supreme Court has lifted the preliminary injunction that was blocking what's known as the BOI, or the beneficial ownership reporting. Okay. And of course, the NFIB, which is exactly who I told everyone to follow for information on this, came out with the information extremely quickly when this information came out. Okay. So, having to file the beneficial ownership information with the the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, is now back on the table. Okay. They have not released guidance on how quickly it's going to need to be done. There are still some paths where it gets blocked. Number one, there is a law that's sitting. It's not a law. Okay, it would be a bill, but there is a bill out there called the Repealing Big Brother Overreach Act that could be passed by Congress and made into law, where it would block this yet again. We'll see if that happens. And we'll also see what kind of timeline there is to have to fill out this information. But if you have an LLC, an S Corp, or any other type of business in your state, basically, if you've ever filed with your Secretary of State, now I don't know what it means if you have just filed a DBA. So if you're a sole proprietor who maybe has a DBA with the state, I don't know what the rules are there. But if you have an LLC, you're going to have to file this. Now, the good news is it's very simple to do. It takes about 5 minutes. I have not done it yet. I went all the way through the process and just stopped short of hitting the file button. I'm not really worried about being on another list, as I'm sure I'm on a couple, as the FBI enters the chat. But I don't know. Just as a fan of small business, I hate for more regulation to be there. And so, I figured this was a form of regulation, but should be fairly easy to fill out. It's not going to take a lot of time, not going to take a lot of effort. Do not pay anybody to do this for you unless you want to pay me to do it for you. I will charge you $100. There are some people out there who are charging $250, $300 to file these things. It is very, very simple. Okay. So that dropped just today. I promised I would report on that as soon as that information came out. All right. Now, the next thing, the tip of the day that I wanted to share with you is actually what I shared on my short form video today. And we're going to be having a podcast come out about this sort of thing very soon. I believe my editor just finished it up today. But I was in ChatGPT this morning and I was just thinking about what I could use this for, especially the tasks portion. And the tasks portion, if you listen to any AI content, the tasks is really kind of the first phase of AI agents. All right. And eventually we're going to have agents that can do some serious work for us. But I was thinking this morning, well, what could an Amazon seller do with an agent? Now, it's not going to be buying product for us right yet or anything like that, but there's got to be something. So here's what popped in my mind this morning. Hey, can you check to see what sales are happening at Target.com every day at 11 a.m. Eastern? And sure enough, it went out and it checked the Target sales. Now, this was overly simplistic. I should have given it some more instructions. Okay. But it said, hey, as of January 23rd, here are the top deals. And if I click on that, it'll actually take me over to the top deals section. Right. It's not as granular as I was hoping for. I was hoping for it to come back and say, hey, there's a buy one, get one 50% off Valentine's chocolates. Now, I don't know whether this is a limitation of my instructions or if this is a limitation of the agent or the task. All right. I'm going to have to do a little more work with it. It also said, hey, here's the weekly ad. And sure enough, I've got a link to the weekly ad as well. So I can go through and I can look through everything there. And it said also there's some clearance going on. And then it said, make sure you know that these are subject to change and most of these are current, et cetera, and so on. But you need to go double check these things. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But this gives me a lot of hope as to what we are going to be able to do with this down the road. All right. So then this afternoon, matter of fact, just a few minutes before we hopped on air, I said, you know what? Let me get a little bit more granular. Please check this page every day at 5:26 p.m. Eastern for new coupon codes. Only tell me if a code has been added you have not seen before. And then I gave it the couponbirds.com site for vitacost.com. And I said here, and it ran at 528. Sorry, it ran at 526, and then I changed it. But I said, sure, I'll let you know if there's a new code. And it said, well, as of January 23rd to 2025, there are no new codes. And if you click on this sources button, well, it lets me know all the citations. So these are all the coupon codes that are on that page right now. And then I changed it up a little bit, and I said, hey, I want you to change this around just a little bit more. And I had it check once again, right? And it said there's no new coupon codes again. And sure enough, it gives me the same exact information. Now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to change this around a little bit more. I'm going to try to have it give me better results because typically when AI doesn't do something you want, it's often because of the prompting. And both of these prompts were overly simple. Both of these prompts were also very rushed. So I need to think about this a little bit to hopefully make this a little bit better. But imagine, if you will, okay, and these have also been emailed to me. So the results from each one of these tasks are in my email. I've got a notification on my phone as well. I could set it up to text message me if I wanted to. All right. So now imagine a world where you're like, you know what? I've got 2 or 3 sites that I really, really love. And I want to be notified every single time there's a new coupon code. And you don't have to just use this coupon site. You could say, hey, I want you to check these 3 different coupon sites. And if there's anything new, then let me know. And I can be the first to know. And you could also say, hey, you know what? I want you to also check this particular gift card site. And if you see any gift cards that are above X% in discount, let me know so I can go and buy those and be able to expand my moat a little bit more. All right. Now, here's the reason I'm bringing this up. The reason I want to share this with you is that if you want to make sure that you have a competitive advantage, then you need to make sure that you understand how AI is going to fit into your business in the future. It's not great right now, but it's going to be. All right. We've already got half a trillion dollars being invested in more AI. Okay. Between Larry Ellison and Sam Altman and a few others. Of course, we've got Anthropic, we've got Grok, we've got ChatGPT, we've got Perplexity, all of these competitors trying to become the very, very best. And agents are very likely the next frontier when it comes to AI. And I want you to make sure that you're keeping your finger on the pulse of what's going on so that you can be ahead of the game. Okay, let me go back and answer your guys' questions here. Paulie, do you have a date for the next OA challenge, not the one that starts on the 27th? As of right now, I do not. I'll start thinking about that though. Chris, this would be too funny. If you send a cease and desist to Corey because of how much smack he talks about Ohio State, that will be hilarious. Luke, you've never gotten a C&D. Makes me wondered if my registered agent service is getting them and not forwarding them. It is possible that they're getting them and either not forwarding them or I don't know. Maybe they're just not getting them at all. Who knows? Matthew, kind of a random question, but while using Aura, I'm messing around with setting up the aging inventory workflow. Have you done this? If so, do you mind explaining briefly? They came out with an email on how to do that, and it is something that is on my to-do list that has not gotten done yet. It is something that will be getting done soon. After I do it, I'll be happy to walk you through it. No problem. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Mike, how do you get rid of OTP two-step verification? So you really can't anymore. You've got to do it one way or the other. You have a choice of how you do the OTP, though. One, you can get a text message every time you need to log back in, or two, you can use a authentication service like Authy or Google Authenticator or something like that. It's your choice. I use Authy. The only reason is I've heard of trouble with Google Authenticator if you switch phones and things like that. So that's why I use another service. And then you need to go make some changes in your security settings, and then you can switch over to an authentication service if you want to. Derek, just watched your section 3 video and it was very helpful. I was wondering if you know what might trigger a section 3, and has anyone ever had multiple section 3s over time? Yes, people have had multiple section 3s. What triggers them? Well, a section 3 where it is just checking your inventory, I don't know that there is anything other than you've got inventory in there and they're throwing darts at the board, trying to get through as many people as possible. A section 3 deactivation could come, if it's an actual deactivation, that could come from people complaining about counterfeit or inauthentic over time. Is that site called Agents that you said is like ChatGPT? No, no. There's Perplexity, there's Claude, there are several other AIs out there, but ChatGPT has tasks built into it. Matthew, I was watching the NVIDIA stream on AI, and they just talked about this. I was thinking about downloading the NVIDIA RLX software to see what. Yeah, absolutely, you should. What is Aura? Aura is a repricer. So it takes your inventory that you have at Amazon and it automatically reprices it, either based on rules that you set up or using its AI. And if you use its AI, of course, it has guardrails that you can build in with minimum prices and maximum prices and things like that. JZ FBA, thanks a lot for coming live. You give a ton of value. I appreciate that. That means a ton. Thank you. Matthew, I did check out the email and the website. The weird part is how the strategy needs to be a drop-down option. It's hard to explain, but that's why I asked. Yeah, I mean, they will walk you through it 100%. So they'll get you taken care of for sure. But if you have any trouble, just give me a shout. Hopefully I'll get to it this weekend sometime because I do want to get it set up for myself. Yeah, I also believe that AI is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be incredibly helpful for those willing to use it. We're always going to have some Luddites in the crowd, and that's okay. But I think that those who are willing to use it as leverage are going to be very happy they did. All right. Any other questions, thoughts, or concerns for today that I can help you guys with? Jay Tyndall, thank you for the alley-oop here. If we've registered for the webinar later, can it be replayed? Yeah, we will have a replay up on the webinar. I am going to take it down on Monday night. So I'm not gonna allow the replay to be up forever. I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I actually don't want this replay being out all the time. And number two, a lot of people will not watch it if the replay is available forever. And so I'm sort of forcing people's hands to go and watch it. Fluke, I'm not a Luddite. I'm just lazy. I get it. What's the next big sale this year? Valentine's? There will be some sales for Valentine's, yes. But this is another great question for AI. Okay. And for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen really quick. For this one, I'm actually gonna use Perplexity. All right. And when we go into Perplexity, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, please tell me the biggest retail sales holidays of 2025. All right. And this should give me a list of the biggest retail sales holidays. So, of course, we've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we've got Christmas, Boxing Day, Small Business Saturday, Green Monday. These ones are not great ones. Please expand this list to show me all the sales holidays or expected sales holidays of 2025. Okay. And now this should give me a much more comprehensive list. I didn't ask it the right question. Okay. So, of course, we've got New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, President's Day, St. Patrick's, Easter's. We're going to have Mother's Day sales, Memorial Day sales, Father's Day sales, 4th of July sales. I mean, we're going to have a ton of big sales events throughout the year, okay, without having to pay attention to some more micro sales events. All right. Great use of AI to be able to make yourself a list and reminders in your calendar if necessary. How can I watch the recording of the webinar? It should get emailed to you. And Nasir, I signed up for the OA challenge. Will I get the email before it starts? Yes, absolutely. If you signed up for the challenge, you will get an email on Sunday to get you into the group. All right. And I see a couple people over here telling me to check their DMs. I do not have any DMs from you guys. I apologize. You're gonna have to send them through again. But here's the other thing. I do have another webinar tonight. It's going down in about an hour at 7 p.m. Eastern, called the Infinite Lead System. All right. I promise you it is very good. Okay. I'm going to show you live finding a profitable product. I'm going to show you how you can create an infinite system of leads and never run out, never worry about where you're going to have to look for the next product. And you can sign up for that webinar over at cleartheshelf.com/webinar, cleartheshelf.com/webinar, or it should be down below this video if you're on YouTube, or above it, or somewhere in my story if you're on Instagram, things like that. If you can't make it for the 7 p.m., then you will get an email with the replay. Kevin, thank you for that. Yeah. Luddites are it's one of my favorite terms. Definitely want to watch it. Just going to be driving. I totally get it. Do you use a paid version of ChatGPT? Yes, absolutely. I do. I pay for ChatGPT. I pay for Perplexity. I've purchased Merlin. I tend to throw money at tools for a while and then pick the ones that suit me the best. Courtney, does being polite to AI get better results? I don't think that being polite necessarily gets better results. However, I am hedging my bets so that when our future AI overlords take over and they inhabit robot bodies, that I'm taken in as a pet, and I am not used as just a worker in the fields. Ken, I just started using Perplexity after seeing you use it so many times. Now I wish I started sooner. Thanks for recommending it. What's the benefit of a paid membership and do you recommend it? And Chris, it really answered the question here, but the plan does give you a large increase in the number of pro searches. They've got their Android assistant today. And I do think it's worth it. I want to pay for it because I use it regularly. So I figure it's worth it. Ryan, I'm an active VIP member. Shoot me a DM or an email, please. Can you give me an example how to use KPF to find products to debundle? I'm unfortunately I'm running out of time tonight, so I can't do that at the moment. Okay, but I could do that for you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's live. Oh yeah, and with the paid version, you can make Perplexity your default search engine, which is fantastic. I am finding myself, and I got to give a shout to Chris. Chris is really the one who said, "Hey, you got to start using Perplexity more." But uh, you can set it as your default search engine. I'm using it more and more. The great thing about it is not only does it kind of give you the results, but it gives you or citations so you know where it's coming from. Like I got a result earlier today, and I think there's this website called like the India Times or something like that, and it's not really a news website. It's kind of a BS website that has a lot of pages in it. And I knew, well, okay, maybe I'm not going to take that one quite as serious as I am some of these others. Does Perplexity have a Chrome? So you don't, Perplexity is not a browser. So I still have all of my Chrome extensions. Let's see here. Are you covering AI in the OA challenge? Yes, absolutely. We are going to be having AI day in the OA challenge. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I need to go get the kids fed because the wife is out of town and get ready for my 7 o'clock. I would love to have you on the webinar tonight. You can sign up at cleartheshelf.com/webinar. It's going to be about an hour of value. I promise I'm going to be bringing my A game, and I will see you guys tomorrow to do this live thing all over again. Have a great night, everybody. Hope you guys crush it.